Some golden points for teachers and professors. If you're a teacher or a professor or a student or a family who is engaged with the school and university, this video is for you. First of all, is it good to allow students to sleep in the class? Yes, it is, but not for regular students who do sleep every day. Just sometimes unusual, you see one of your students is falling asleep. Well, let them sleep. That improves their cognitive abilities and concentration and focus. If you don't let them sleep, they're not going to learn because they need sleeping. At the same time, they won't learn from you or from the coming classes either. If you let them sleep, probably if they don't learn from you because you were, and while you were teaching, they were sleeping, but they will learn from other teachers in classes which are coming in. So let students sleep if some of them somehow they need. The second thing, if somebody comes late, it's not usual, just let them in. If it's not usual they come late, so you may kind of talk to the office or talk to them to find out why that's happening. When you give homeworks, assignments, please give them an assignment of reading books. If you have 20 students in your classroom and you make an assignment of reading books, there will be 20 books read and they'll be presented in your classroom, which will boost and improve the knowledge. Probably they may not read those 20 books there and during 20 months or even more than that. So make them read books and present it in the classroom. That will enrich your classroom and they will gain a lot of knowledge from that. All right? The other point, when you greet students, say good morning, good afternoon, this and that, and they don't engage with you, they don't reply well, don't feel bad. That's going to be usual. That's going to be fine. Prepare always. Preparation is 80% of your work and 20% is when you teach. Prepare well, use technology, use AI, use computers and internet to prepare yourself for a better teaching. Please do not make it a passive learning. Whenever you start talking and explaining and solving questions, that is going to be a passive learning for your students. Make your students engaged to have an active learning. So categorize your 90 minutes or 80 minutes duration of time into different students activities, group activities, answering, asking, questioning, debating, arguing, or whatever, all the time. For example, you have a topic of literacy and they're going to talk about literacy. First of all, ask 5 questions. What's the meaning of literacy? Who's called literate? What are the measures to see if that person is literate? What's illiteracy? In all aspects and types of literacy. Let them think. If they can't, they don't have enough information, make them use Google. All right? Stay in contact with the parents if possible and to the office and see what are the regulations for students' activities and engagements. And always, you should be the sample, the ideal behavior and person that you teach them. Do not talk negative about your own life and being broke, being unpleasant situations. They look after you as their role model. Be a good role model. Most of the time, they learn from the way they observe you. They learn from your behavior rather than from your speeches. Do not always be a speaker. It's like going to the gym. You see people who go to the gym and they do sport all the time. Trainees are engaged and active. So make your students engaged and active. When you stand in front of the board, you just talk and talk and talk. That is not an active learning. And you'll be battling with yourself and your student because they have a lot of fun videos of people dancing, women, videos from cats and dogs in all parts of the world. So they have on their finger. So you battle with having their attention. If you don't make it active learning, if you don't engage them, if you don't ask questions, if you don't make group discussions, you won't have their attention. And that would be a big problem. You will teach literally for nobody because nobody is listening to you. And that would be a big issue for you. So make sure you engage them. You ask them questions. When they ask you a question, you probably are not able to answer it. Ask other students to answer. Probably you'll get a better answer. If you have the answer, okay, give it. Or make it into a new question to make the student to think and find the answer him or herself. If not, you may say, oh, I'm sorry, I'll have your answer tomorrow. In the same time, think if that question or topic is relevant to your topic. If it's not relevant, you may say, okay, I'm sorry, it's not relevant, or we may discuss it next day or next class. That's how you have your class actively learning. And when it comes in the morning or in lunch, when you start your class, so approach to them and talk to them, if they share some personal issues, if you could help them or just give them some advices, that would kind of improve your communication and engagement with them, and you realize their situation and they will realize that's the kind of part of emotionally understanding each other. So if there is any misbehavior, mistake, these things can happen. Don't take it personally. Try to talk to the office, to the students, to the parents, and don't be unhappy about what happens. These things happen, and especially when they are kids and the students, they are in different level and mindsets, and they can be rude. So if you choose to be a professor, if you choose to be a teacher, these things will be there, and you're not just only working in a classroom, but when you go home, you have a lot of stuff to do. Before coming to the class, you have preparation and all papers. So that's part of the profession, being called a teacher or professor. So make sure you make students engaged. Make sure you use and apply technology, for example, artificial intelligence. And make sure you teach something useful, something up to date, something beneficiary. So it's not just a matter of teaching. At the end of the day, what knowledge skills your students going to gain? So these are important aspects to take into consideration. You cannot ignore it. All right? And same time, you better use and have a continuous learning, and you may attend to other professors and teachers classes and learn how they manage classes and how they handle things and how they teach and what kind of resources they're going to use. That helps you to improve. And teaching is a kind of profession which you need to keep reading, studying, and improving yourself every day. Otherwise, you'll stay behind and you won't be doing well. So make sure you share this video with other friends and other teachers and professors, that they can get some tips and clues from this video how to be a better teacher every day or a better professor.